What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today, we're going over Digital Daily number 28. We've got a lot of questions going into this week on how everything's going to work with the Fatal Feast. It is most likely that the Fatal Feast will tie in to the mystery of the library. One of the things I had kind of forgotten was in the opening episode, the Fatal Feast was kind of highlighted with finding that invitation through the fireplace in the library. So what will happen with all this? If that's going to be happening on Tuesday, how is Kuzie's HoH going to work? Is she just going to nominate people? Will her being HoH just make her safe for the week? There's so many questions to really go over, but we do have a little bit of an idea now of what her plans are for her HoH should things go normally. But again, we don't know exactly how things are going to go. But by the time the Fatal Feast is over, Kuzie might not even be in the house. Like, we don't know what is going to happen with this twist. But let's go over what they're talking about, what they're thinking, because some people made some mistakes this week. So first off, again, Kuzie won HoH, so everybody was hanging out up in her room afterwards, just kind of hanging as she got there. She was reading her letter. They were eating snacks and chilling. Eventually, though, we did get Santina and Hope, who were kind of off on their own in the bathroom. And she says pretty much like with the girly pop, she's just going to stay out of their way, right? If they stay out of hers, like she'd rather say nothing than be rude. And Hope tells her to, keep it that way. And he can't stand them either. Apparently, Santina had told the girly pops, like, oh yeah, at some point I'd have to go after Kuzie. And her whole explanation on why she said that is like, of course she's not going to tell them to their face, like, oh, I'm going after you guys, right? She has to tell them something. So yeah, she's telling both sides different things, but she's telling them the lie. And they went and told Kuzie, that is what I'm guessing, because it seems like that's caused some tension. And they both say that they're done with Ty. They really don't like how he's been handling himself. Hope says that Ty is like trying to paint this picture that he doesn't really like, and he needs to tell Kuzie like to stop listening to him. Then we've got probably the most important game talk of the whole daily. Maybe of this whole season, and probably one of the best like actual game talks that we got on any of these digital dailies so far. So we had the Shady Bunch up in the HoH room alone. Basically, they were saying how, after veto, Ty would probably blow up if he's still on the block. And then Kuzie starts explaining her math on what she wants to accomplish this week. And she says, if I take out one of the girly pops, yes, they are weakened, and now it's just the two of them. I and Santina won't go after them now, because they're a non-issue. Who would be the power trio in the group still? It would be the Shady Bunch. So her worry is if she uses her HoH to get out, say, Renee, Claudia, or Nene, Ty and Santina, if they would happen to become into power the next week, they would go after Anika, Daniel, or Kuzie rather than just the leftover of the girly pops, which makes sense, but I also have some issues with why it doesn't necessarily work fully, but we'll get to that. She says that Ty was pushing for Santina not to go up. That kind of makes her think that, the two of them are actually working together much stronger than they think they are. So in her mind, she thinks the best thing to do is either Ty and Santina up together or two of the girls going up together. And again, with her explanation of that, she kind of feels like if she just uses it on the girls, they're the next big target. But if they use it on Ty and Santina, then they get one of those big targets out, and then that leaves the girly pop still as a big target in the house. Hope ends up joining them and kind of fills them in on info on Ty and how Ty thinks that Santina, Hope, and himself are all together. And he's like, we've never even said like we're in an alliance. I just like nod. I just nod and say yes to everything he does. So that means he thinks we're working together. So Hope is basically trying to tell him like Santina's not coming after you guys. Like Santina's good. Like you don't have to worry about her. But Kuzie still wants to take that shot at Ty before he could take the shot at her. And Hope's just really trying to say like, listen, like Ty thinks he controls everyone. So, you know, they can kind of get him out whenever, right? Like you should just kind of take a shot at the girls. But again, Kuzie and Anika are kind of pushing that like, no, like we need to go after Ty and Santina because they wouldn't end up putting them up if they just took out one of the girls. And again, just how Santina wouldn't put them up, but Kuzie doesn't believe it. She says, it seems like Santina's always worried. I'll tell her like I'm with you and I've got your back. But then she's going off and she's like crying like 2 minutes later, which means to her that she doesn't believe anything she says, which I don't think it's a good way to really judge on how somebody's feeling about what you just told them. Like, this is Big Brother. Everybody's crying, right? Like, I don't think there's many people that go through that house that don't get worried and don't get paranoid and don't end up crying at some point in that house. So I think Kuzie is being a little bit tunnel visioned on Santina and not trusting in that Santina wouldn't go after her and does want to go after the girly pops and Ty. So it would be more beneficial to keep Santina close instead of making her an enemy at this point. We then ended up getting Santina and Ty kind of talking, and she kind of, again, kind of explains to Ty how, like, yeah, of course I've been telling different things to different sides because, you know, that's what you have to do. But I've given my loyalty to one of them, and, you know, they don't seem to believe me that I'm loyal. And they kind of talk about how Ty thinks things are going to go. He thinks that Kuzie will put up two of the girls, but there is potential that she will end up putting Ty and Hope up together, which would kind of be the worst case scenario, but he doesn't think that Santina would go up. And meanwhile, Santina's like, I'm just not going to just go and you know, kiss ass. Like, that's just not what I'm going to do. So it's just really kind of a tough spot for Santina. Like, she should have just kept Jonathan, because if she kept Jonathan, it could have been a little bit better for her long term, because Jonathan and the girls maybe could have came together against Kuzie. But yeah, I just think it was not a great move for her to vote with the shady bunch, because if she would have voted Jonathan, the shady bunch would have looked really bad to John, because they would have been the three to vote him out. Meanwhile, the other four voted to save him. So he'd be much more loyal to them and would have been the thing that seems like the shady bunch were worried about, and why they didn't keep Jonathan in the first place is that he would have gone with the girls. So that was kind of a mistake on Santina's part, I think. But Kuzie still would have been in power and may have put her up anyway. But who knows how things would have played out that way. And then we did get a convo with Kuzie and Santina. It was a little hard for them to talk because they kept getting interrupted. Ty came in at one point, then Daniel came in at one point. Ty was actually pacing back and forth outside the door. But Kuzie just kind of tells her, she's like, listen, I was just wondering why you're still worried about me. Like, why aren't you trusting? And Santina basically tells her, she's like, listen, I'm not necessarily worried about you. It's just that, like, I'm worried because I am someone that probably should be put up at some point. And I'm worried that others are going to tell you to do that and put me up. And Kuzie tells her, is like, listen, I see you with Ty, and that worries me. And it makes me think like I should forget about the girls. And Santina's like, that's exactly why I'm worried, because it's so easy for you to be able to just forget about the girls and think of me as a target when I'm kind of with you. And she tells her how that Ty doing the whole detective thing makes her nervous. And it's just one of those things where it's like, Kuzie, you see how like she's nervous because of things she sees, but you're also nervous because of the things you see. And that's normal. Like you at some point just have to have a little bit of trust in someone. And it's why I think overall Kuzie's plan probably isn't the best. Because here's what's going to happen. She puts up Ty and Santina, right? one of them comes off the block, she has to put up one of the girly pops anyway, right? If neither of them come off the block, the girly pops are still going to come after them anyway, right? So if she were to keep Santina off the block, that would lock in Santina to know, yes, I can trust Kuzie, I can trust the Shady Bunch, and I don't have to worry about them. So in the off chance that Santina would win power next week, she would go after the girly pops. But with this plan, what will end up happening is exactly what Kuzie fears. The girly pops will still come after Kuzie and her side, and Ty and Santina, whoever would stay, would also come after the Shady Bunch. So this plan that she has like putting in place, it really just ends up doing what she doesn't want in the end. It would be smarter to put up the two of the girls, right? Because they're already mad at you. Ty as a possible replacement, or if you even want to just do that, put Ty up as one of them, one of the girls up as the other. But then you're kind of messing with fire there because Ty thinks he's with you, so you could kind of string him along as well. Funny enough, the person who has the smartest plan this week is actually Hope. I'm not kidding, because this is literally what Hope said. He's like, listen, if you put up two of the girls and Ty as a replacement, that's probably your best move. But Kuzie doesn't want to do that. Kuzie doesn't want to waste her HOH on one of the girls. She wants to take a big shot. And I think in the end, that's what's going to cause Kuzie this game is, yes, big shots are good to take, but you have to be careful when you take those big shots. Make sure you don't miss. And on top of that, try and make it as smooth as possible. Because with this plan that she has now, she already has one group, the girly pops, that will go after her. And if she puts Santina up, she's confirming to Santina, I don't care about you. You are somebody that should put me up if you get power. It just seems like it's a bad move from Kuzie here to put Santina on the block. But what do you guys think? Let's pull up the alliance chart here. I've done a little bit of changes to it. Not too much really has changed. Obviously, we have Jonathan going to jury, so he's no longer in the crown. But you have the crown up top, the four of them. You got the Shady Bunch on one side. You got the girly pops on the other. Santina and Ty kind of in the middle there, right? Which is why I'm saying, like, listen, yes, they are two big targets, right? Those are the two people you would probably want out before any of the girly pops, right? Because they're just lesser of competitors overall, right? Renee can't win anything. Nene has won one thing. Claudia came close to winning this HOH. She came really close to winning this one. But overall, you would worry more about Ty, who's shown to be very strong in competitions. Santina has won 2 HOHs now, although they only really know one for sure because one of them was the Invisible. But those would be the two or the bigger targets that you would want to probably take out. But again, if you kind of look at this, you can almost see, right, where the girly pops are for sure already against you. Ty and Santina, because they're kind of on their own, it doesn't make sense to just right out target the both of them, because then you're just making everyone in the house upset with you. So you want to try and balance that as much as possible. Their best option would do a backdoor on one of them, whichever one they would end up choosing. And then if for some reason one of them won the veto and doesn't use it, you can still end up getting out one of the girly pops, and that's still good for your game. Either way, you're going to have people that are probably going to come after you next week. There's no way to keep yourself 100% safe here. It seems to me like the best play would be play it a little bit safer, use them for a backdoor option, but don't put them up right away, because all you're going to do is get them pissed off. Again, we also have underneath Ty and Santina the thing that Ty thinks is an alliance, but really isn't, with Ty, Santina, and Hope. Again, that's something that Kuzie also thinks is a real thing, at least because even if it's not real to Santina and Hope, Ty thinks it's real, which then makes her think Ty will go after Kuzie anyway. But I also don't think, I think that's an issue either way, right? Which then means, okay, you can backdoor him, but Santina does think she can work with you. Santina does not want to work with the girls. Santina does not want to work with Ty. She does want to work with the Shady Bunch. The Crown, really, because of Hope. So why make her a target and put her on the block, worsening your relationship with her and potentially making her go, yeah, you know what? I will end up putting you guys on the block because it makes sense for my game. I don't know. I think it's a bad move. I think it's a bad move. We also do have like kind of the pairs down there. A lot are gone here's the thing. You could probably make pairs of Renee, Nene, and Claudia, right? You could have all three of them paired off into the possible duos, but they're a group of three. At the end of the day, they're just a group of three that will all be loyal to each other. Kuzie, I guess you could do one with Anika and Daniel, but the stronger pair of that is Daniel and Anika. Hope and Santina probably have the closest little bond. I don't think you really can count on the Hope Kuzie one because, again, she's just kind of using Hope as kind of the weapon against possibly Ty. And then also there were bonds with like Kuzie and Ty and Claudia and Ty. Those are done for now at this point. Ty's apparently been pushing for Claudia to go up on the block. It's a wild week. It's a wild week. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen with the Fatal Feast. If things were normal, who do you think Kuzie will end up nominating? Will we get more dailies? I'm not sure. We usually don't get one on Sunday anyway. Monday would probably be when the Fatal Feast has already happened, so I don't know if we'll get one on Monday. And then Tuesday is the Fatal Feast episode, and I don't think they'll show us anything on Tuesday before that episode if someone is leaving the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of info we get from here, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below and how you think this week will go. Do you think it is a bad move to put Santina on the block and confirm to her that, yes, we're not working with you? Or should they string Santina along a little bit more, put two of the girls up with Ty as the backdoor option? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Check out all the links to my socials in the description and a pinned comment down below. My Twitch, my Twitter, my Discord, the new Kick streams down there as well. Twitch was popping off last night. We may have been getting into a little bit of scuffles on Twitter last night. That was fun. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. Thank you guys all again for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you next time.